Hi, I'm Owen from Square Balloon, and today I'm going to talk you through our website design process, which is a little different from other companies. So, hopefully, it helps you to understand the way we work and where your parts for you to put input in and sign off parts are. So, the first thing we'll develop is a sitemap, which will be a list of all the pages that we think you will need. That will be something that you will sign off, so you will agree, yes, we need these pages, no, we don't need those pages, or whatever it is. This will come from a combination of us looking at your existing website if you have one, looking at competitor websites and making suggestions on pages they may have that you're missing, potentially making suggestions from our own experience of previous websites, the sort of things that may work for you. Once we've got those pages signed off, and often there'll be a bit of discussion such as, do we need an FAQs page, and us saying something along the lines of, perhaps you shouldn't be that an individual page for FAQs, but perhaps if those questions are important, you should answer those directly on, say, your homepage or your contact page or wherever the important pages are. After we've agreed those pages, we will take something like what you're seeing on the screen now, which is a wireframe, and we're trying to work out the site flow, which is basically what is positioned where and why is it positioned there. So as you can see, it's not got any detail on it. It's not got a logo or any pictures or anything that could be distracting, where we might get into a discussion about, well, that's the wrong type of picture, or that's the old logo, or anything like that. Because at this point, we're just looking at what should be on the page in what parts. So what is the most important thing for the customer or the user of that page to know and understand, and why should it be positioned in the right places. So it might be things like a contact form should be straight away so they can contact us immediately. It might be that trusted brands are the next part of the page because they're a real trust factor and you've worked with a lot of big names that people would recognise. Or it might be that you have some really strong accreditations that would be there, that's imperative in your industry, or something else like really strong reviews or something like that. Whatever it is, this part we would work it out as the site flow, and we kind of work this out for all the pages as we go along, leaving sort of dummy holders for images and text and stuff like that. After this point, we move on to creating the content. Content really does determine although we put dummy content and images in here, if the content written is quite a lot longer, it will be down to us and our design team to work out how to format that text in a suitable way so that the page still looks nice and is still usable and user-friendly. If there was just like 3 pages of text, it wouldn't look that appealing. People might not read it, but if we break it up with images and different layouts, it becomes more readable. So once we've got the content, we probably revisit this slightly and just make sure that text fits in the right places depending on how much text we have. And from that point onwards, we take this part, again it would have been signed off here, as well as the content being signed off, and we move straight on to the design part of the process. And that's when we do start adding the logo in and images. So this is the part where you would say to us, actually, in this instance, oh, that's the wrong type of lorry. We don't have a lorry like that, or these two are great, but actually they're not wearing the right health and safety gear, so we can't use that picture, or that's actually a foreign way of doing things, and in the UK it's not like that. Whatever it is, those are the sort of things that often come out. Content should have already been signed off, so shouldn't be too many changes there, but there might be some changes on the design. That's an old client logo, not the latest one, or something like that. Hopefully you'd have sent us the right logos, and we won't have any of those types of issues. But this is another sign-off point. So again, you would get to see multiple pages and sign them off. There might be, if we're waiting on content, there might be some dummy content in there again. We use stuff called lorem ipsum text, and that is just to stop you from getting distracted by grammar mistakes, typos, the wrong type of content, and just signing off the actual design. And then we replace it with live content once it's arrived from the copywriters or from yourselves if you're providing it. Next stage after that would be development. So this is when we start coding the website and bringing it to life so it's functional. This, although it may look like a website, is just basically a prototype. Once we've got into development, we start coding the live site. So we'll have working menus and sliders and pop-ups or whatever we've decided to do on that website. And that's probably the longest part of the process, and it's also the longest part to make changes on. So if we have changes to the design, we ask that they are thought of in this design stage. It may take us just a few minutes to move things around in this design, whereas on the actual coded part of the website, it could take hours or days to change some things potentially. So we have a very clear process and a very clear sign-off points on each process in order to make sure that A, we come in on budget, and B, we come in on the time that we expect to deliver this. It's very key that we don't have changes in this part of the development process, as it could delay the launch date significantly, whereas the design part will be less significant on those delays. So yeah, that's it. And then the last thing would be sign off and release. So obviously we don't just give you the website and disappear. If you have feedback, we ask for it as one single document. So get all your feedback together as one Word document or one email, send it through to us, and we will action those within 7 days, after which point the website will be signed off and ready to go live. Hopefully that makes it easy for you to understand, but if you've got any questions, please do get in touch.